Hi and welcome. Today we're going to discuss cross-site scripting. Okay, so many people think that cross-site scripting is a big thing still and it's very difficult to avoid it and so on. Now, the reality is very different, and I would beg to differ that it is not that difficult to get away from, and there is kinda not that much cross-site scripting happening anymore. Let's go ahead and look at the OWASP.org website. I just basically go and browse the OWASP top 10, which just got updated. As you can see, cross-site scripting had a position of its own position called A7 and was a part of the old OWASP 2017 top 10. Now, in the 2021, don't misunderstand this, they combined the normal injection and everything else that is also remotely the same as you're injecting something in the input field and you're getting a result, whether that's called SQL injection or JavaScript injection, which is cross-site scripting. Well, then they gave it a position of number 3. So how much cross-site scripting are there these days? Of course there are some, but mainly it's protected from browsers and protected from encoding your output as a programmer, and you can also do something with the headers in the web servers. So how much do you see of that? I would like to say that I haven't seen it as a big thing for a long time, and also would like to say that there are a few content creators on YouTube. I don't think I need to mention any names, but they are very famous for just putting up some super vulnerable machine, and that's okay. But they talk about how easy it is to exploit this and you are game over and all that stuff, I don't really like that way of explaining things because it creates more like a clickbait interest from their point of view to gain money from YouTubers. From you that watch their YouTube videos. So what I would like to say that is, I'm gonna show you what cross-site scripting is now, and since I also talked about how little the risk is these days, you still need to take care of your encoding. You still need to encode your output. You still need to make sure that your users in your organizations use updated browsers, because they do also enforce the same site rule on the browser, avoiding cross-site request forgery, which is also done by, well, in most occasions by post to get request, but can also be done by JavaScript. So without further ado, I think I've been talking for too much now already. Let's go ahead and look at the room here on TryHackMe. This is a typical cross-site scripting room. I think there should be some machine that I can start somewhere. I don't know, really sure when. Basically, they're gonna talk about different kind of payloads, and what this is all about is you give some input to the get or the post request, primarily those two requests, and either it's being stored on the server, which is called stored cross-site scripting, or it could be reflected by the server, which is basically something you mainly see in a search input field, such as a car site or something like that, where you can search for car and it will tell you, so we could not find your Ford Mustang 1956 Model 5, whatever. So it kind of reflects what you typed in the input field. So if the input field isn't sanitized, it isn't verified anything, it's not encoded properly, creating HTML entities of special characters, you will have reflected cross-site scripting. And then you have this DOM based and blind, and there isn't much difference to the DOM base. Really, what I'm gonna do is briefly just say that if you wish to know more about the blind one, it is kind of the same. I'm not really gonna go into details with it, but what I'm gonna focus on is the two here called reflected. And they do talk about how that is done, so you have to read this and store it. I guess there is some sort of machine we could start up, I guess. Yes, there is. So let's go ahead and, whoa, that's a long scroll. And there is a practical example here of blind cross-site scripting, but I'm not going to go into that. I hope this machine can showcase us both reflected and stored cross-site scripting. So how your JavaScript payload get reflected? To explain this, clicking the green, yes, and then we have some link here, but I guess I'm just gonna access the IP address. So let's just wait a few seconds, and then it should be up. While waiting, I'm gonna stress again that don't fall for these really good content creators on YouTube that just, you know, create insanely funky videos with lots of colors and really, you know, perfecting their everything like intro, and they look really professional, and what they really showcase is just a very simple basic demo room, and they make it seem so easy and so wild an exploit you can do, and almost like, and they call it hack any site or get access to any profile, and you know, these kind of, you know, don't fall for it. Alright, so we have the IP. I'm gonna open that in the browser just briefly to see if we can. No, we need to do that, it seems. Alright, so we have level 1, and this is probably just the reflected one, so let's type test. Yes, what you can see here is that in the top you have a get variable called payload. It could be named anything, and you have the word test. Test was the word that I typed in the input field, so it is being reflected back to me. So if I type test2, it's going to say hello test2 here, because this is reflected down onwards to the side. If I then write a script like this, and I write stuff like alert, you know, this is the basic, this should not happen, then I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get a pop-up now, and this is called reflected, because every time I call this, it's being sent to the server, sent back to me, and then it will be executed as whatever that the browser understand. Now, luckily for us, browsers understand JavaScript, and you could probably think, what could I write here? This alert usually is done also in tutorials. I think if you look here, you know, it's gonna be the same, just with another, you know, string. And basically it's just a proof concept, so if this can succeed, anything, any JavaScript could succeed. If you had some sort of cookie, I think it's called document cookie or something like that. If I could type document, maybe it's cookies, I don't remember exactly. Yeah, it's undefined. I have no cookie right now, but this cookie is usually the one that you're interested in. So what you're gonna do is basically just direct this to a external IP address, which could be mine IP address. I could set up a web server and do easy PHP script looking for get variable, and basically this script should just be, you know, creating a AJAX request, you know, a asynchronous request to my server sending this information. Then I would have it, and I could log into the user and be that profile. That is the idea, but I want to tell you again that this is very atypical that this gonna succeed in the real world, but this is the type of attack reflected is all about. So I think in order to proceed, we probably should take the exact example they gave us here and paste it in. And they said confirming payload. I have no idea what they accepted it. Also, what you're gonna see in the top here is that we got some URL encoding going on. So we got some percentage stuff, and it's being put in. So depending on the browser, Chrome is specific wild about this. It's gonna encode anything almost. I think Firefox is a little less wild, and I'm not sure about Opera. I never used that browser because it's nah. Alright, so let's go to level 2. And I'm really not sure what this is, but I'm just gonna so it's gonna reflect itself onwards here. This is the time where you right click and you scroll down and you find the script here. You find the script, it is still not encoded. It is put raw inside this. So what you probably should do here is to end this value right here, and you can try and take this and put a double quotation at the top, and you see now you're going to slowly mix up the syntax, and you will get mixed results. So now you can see that you're ending up the value. You can also end it with the lower than, and then the rest should be nonsense. So in order to just end the syntax for this input field, tag, whatever it's called, I would probably put this in front and that afterward, enter again, and now we have another reflected cross-site scripting attack. Depending on how it's being interpreted by the server, it can be put into other tags and stuff, but don't ever give up if you see this. And I would say it's about time that you slap that programmer. Let's go to level 3, probably even more advanced this time. Let's just put in the script, and you see that it's inside somewhat the same again. Let's find it. It is there inside the text area. So what I think I should do is to inject the text area in front. I'm gonna try that anyways. So just take that and say you're gonna end the text area, copy that, and you see now again I have the pop-up of try hack me, another type of reflected cross-site scripting. What we're doing now is called Evasions, or you can call it a more clever attack. It doesn't really matter. What you're doing is that you are making sure that your script is being executed by removing all other HTML or whatever there is to stop it. So we go into level 4 now. Another reflected, it would seem like. So let's go ahead and just delete the old thing, and now we are seeing this sign here in front. So let's one more time find it. Another example that you have some JavaScript here, and because we're using a browser, we can see that the end script tag is red, which basically means that it's kind of interpreting this, but it's not interpreting this. So what we need to do is to provide a single pling here, or single quotation, and let's see if that should work. So let's do this, single quotation, enter, and no, still not. So let's go ahead and update this site here and see what happened. I think nothing happened. Oh yeah, it did happen something. So we did end it. So the syntax is incomplete, so you need to put a semicolon, it would seem. So let's do a single pling, semicolon, And one more time, we're gonna look at it again. That is the process. So we're having script, document, inside a script tag. So we will probably need to put an end script tag in front to end this one here. So let's do, I think if we do end script tag first, semicolon, and enter, and now we're getting the pop-up again. So basically the game is all about just ending the other tags and escaping whatever there is. So pretty easy still. One more. Let's give it a go. So now we have alert TMH, so there's something going on. Let's find it. Oh, I see. This time it's a bit more funky because they removed the word script. You can see this, that the word script here and there is removed. So now we need to find a way for it to actually give us the script. So what we could try and do just in the start is just to do double S's. This is a very old trick, and you see it's being we do create some extra HTML. Let's go ahead and just have a look at it. There it is. So we do have an extra S now. So this basically means that if I go ahead and write double C's, double R's, double I's, double P's, double T's, and do this, well, I'll just see how far did I get. So it's saying script. Maybe I shouldn't go that far. Let's go one step back again. Write script. And script, and just put another T there, just see what happens. So always just verify the result and see it does give us a T. So if I did this again and did with a double S, just like that, I check the HTML one more time, it kind of looks like that I could crawl that way. So let me just see the C. Yeah, now it's saying script. So we are on the right track. I don't exactly remember the evasion technique. I think it's probably here at somewhere, you know. I'm gonna write some. Yeah. Yeah, we were on the right track. So what we're gonna do here is basically say that we put the word script there. It's gonna look for everything else. It's just a word search, so it's looking for this and removing everything else. So let's take this, put it in, and we got the pop-up now. So what really happened is that the code behind were only looking for the word script. This is another way of, I would say, a really bad way of avoiding, you know, cross-site scripting, because you're not avoiding anything. You're blacklisting one word and you're removing it, but crypt and S is not really. So before it's being reflected back to the client, it's being interpreted, and we do have cross-site scripting. Let's take this text level. So this is enter path, and just have a look. So it's gonna be this right here, and basically if I put my script now one more time, and we go ahead and check the payload, we can see that it's removing the larger than and lower thans. Everything else is still there. So we need to find another way. I think, to be honest, really, Does it just want me to do that? Oh yeah, we could also use the unload. That's an oldie, you know. You probably noticed that I haven't been doing that for a long time because it's not really that much of an, you know, threat. But if we do this, it will probably, you know, execute. Yeah, it is executing. And the reason for that is that we are appending on the unload attribute to the image tag, which I kind of just forgot existed, but of course this is a possibility. Was there another more elegant way to solve this? They also mentioned this way. It's another evasion technique, so we can just try that. Nope, didn't work. So maybe that's level 6. It's just try. That's not the technique. So they want me to do. And then we have something like this below here, which I could take. I guess I could put it in, and yeah. You know, all this is generating all this, and you are making sure that the browser is not case sensitive and everything else is going on. This is the most confusing payload to look at. I'm not gonna dare to decipher it. You know, what you usually do with these kind of input fields is that you're going to run a fast test, and the fast test would be, so we're gonna have JavaScript, XSS, payloads. I think we can find something on GitHub, you know. I think that would be the one. And then go ahead and say intruder, and then have some sort of payload list. And all this is just different kind of, you know, JavaScript combinations that has some sort of success at some point. And all these, there's a lot of them. One of them might work. This is why when you're doing output to the end client, to the view part, if you're doing a lot of MVC and websites, it doesn't really matter as long as you execute HTML, then you're gonna have to encode all your output, so everything is converted to HTML entities, and then it's, to say it mildly, game over, to use that expression. So let's see, we are done, we are getting this flag, and okay, we can just put it in, I guess. So this was reflected. Let's just look at this anyways, you know. So we have something called, let's just close this down. Let's terminate this machine, and let's go ahead and start up the other machine, and it says something blah blah blah. Let's just see. Click on the customers tab on the top navigation bar, click sign up there, make a link account, use account support. Try creating a support ticket by clicking the green create button into the subject. What do you want me to do? Okay, something I can type. So what I feel should be the right way. Yes, this is, I don't like they call it blind. This is weird. I feel like this is just stored, but you know, we know. No. I'm gonna pause the video for a second. So we have the IP address, and let's just, was some weird link, wasn't there? Yeah, we have this link here. Most white teeth ever. So what they want me to do? Want me to sign up or something? Okay, so sign up. Test. All right. Oh wow. Tester. Okay, so we in, and they wanted us to create a ticket, and the ticket subject should be fix your code. And I guess they want me to just, I'm gonna take this a bit faster to do this here, and let me just put it in so I can talk about it. So if you remember I guess this is gonna work. Let's just create a ticket. Let's go into it, and yeah, we're getting this is just stored cross-site scripting. What we did is we ended the text area and started the script. So if we go and read the code here, you should see that we have exactly what we would expect from the original reflected one I did, manually and talking about that. This is exactly the same. The only difference now is that this is stored in a database, and it's being sent to the user or reflected back, however we're gonna say it, to the client every time a client requests this particular site, and then we're gonna get cross-site scripting. That's basically what this is all about. So, and what is the value of the staff session cookie? So they are showing us a script now to retrieve this. I guess we could do, let's just do a netcat, I think that would be fine. And we're gonna take this script here. I think we should be fine, and take this and say we're gonna fetch from this, and my IP address is 10.11.0.2.1. It's gonna be port 4555. I'm gonna send this cookie, whatever. I'm gonna save this. Oh, I cannot. I gotta go back and say you have one ticket open. Create your ticket, and it's gonna be hello. Created. Gonna press hello and see if I got a hit. Oh. 10.11.0.2.1.5.5. Oh yeah, I haven't started the let's go to desktop and sudo openvpn. That should, I guess it should work, I'm not really sure. So let's look at it one more time. No. Very bugging. So let's see, HTTP 10. What if I just take this file from my browser? Yes, okay. So I do get a hit one more time. So let me just one more time. See if we're fetching this, the cookie. I'm not getting it. So did I get the right script here? So it says, yeah, they're actually breaking down the payload right here. That is beautiful. They also want me to do a netcat listener. Yeah. You can use the try me request catcher. Request catcher. I'm not sure I want to do that. It's weird. Undecided on the method. Do I have? Let's just refresh the page. 10.11.0.2.1. That is true. And then one more time. Let's see. Yes, we're starting netcat listener. It's just that port. It doesn't really matter on my occasion. It's the same port, it's just 5555. And it's saying BT over command. So it's gonna base 64 encode this. Okay, so that's a more safe way to transfer, illegal characters if there is any. So this should work. Let me just retype everything one more time. So support tickets. Created. HP yo. yo. And let's see, URL or IP, so 10.11.0201, port 5555. Yes. Create ticket. I should get a hit, but I'm not getting it. No. Maybe let's just try to use this. What is it? You can use the, you must be connected to the VPN. Alright, so let's see, create a session. Okay. Looks weird. Alright, so I just briefly tried the URL they gave us, and basically we can take this here and let's go back and create another support ticket. I haven't tested that. Let's just take the payload one more time. You know, it could be that this is probably just easier to showcase without going through a lot of issues. Let's just take this, and I guess that would be it. Create the ticket, go there and see. Yeah, we could get something. Got more than before. Yeah, so we have the cookie right there, which is base 64 encoded, it seems. So if I do go to Cypher Chef, and then I do, that is the payload, oh well, the string, I'm gonna decode that, and we have the staff session right there. I guess they just want me to take this part here and paste it in, and we have the right answer. So this is an actual example of what I would call it, like a AJAX, you know, asynchronous, you know, attack. And again, this is cross-site, and most browsers just, you know, won't allow it. But since this is an example of how easy it is to exploit a certain vulnerability, and of course on TryHackMe it is quite easy. Let's go ahead and just, you know, so it stands for cross-site scripting. Okay, I want me to spell it like that. Let's spell it like that. And what is this? Which document probably could contain the user's token? Session token. That's the session, of course. Or want me to write a specific thing? Let me see, where would they? Oh, we want to write document cookie, that's right. So yeah, maybe I should read the question. Which JavaScript method is often used as proof concepts? Alert, reflected, and thus where in the URL is a good place to test for reflected XSS. Where in the URL? Well, parameters. Is that the okay? Yeah. So sometimes the obvious answer is the right answer. How are stored cross-site scripting usually stored? Database. Wow. DOM-based. What unsafe JavaScript method is good to look for in source code? Well, there are many. What about window? That would back be one day. Well, no. It would also be weird. eval is a very interesting one that I would never see in a JavaScript site. So let's take that as an answer. That is the answer. Blind, what tool can be used to test for? I think XSS Hunter is the tool we could use. And what type of cross-site scripting? Stored, as I also just mentioned. So now we finished with the room, so you can also go ahead and finish that if you wish to do it. Alright, so let's terminate this. What kind of animation did it just do? Something that totally removed the possibility for me to click on anything. So this is the room on Try Hack Me on cross-site scripting. We talked about how to exploit it, different types, what they call blind, and basically that's gonna be it for now. So take care.